You're now listening to
The Coal Report.
102.3.
Delivering discourse from the black pits of bituminous coal.
This ain't your granny's station.
Driving currently, and I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we'll see what happens. Just as a video log, or no, I'll have audio, sorry, but I'll have to find a way, because voice memo you have to press. I don't know, I'll get an app, maybe because I have to drive to the States frequently, maybe I'll get a microphone. They have this one, but it's really expensive. It's the one that Sam Sulik uses, where you just like clip on your hat or your shirt or whatever. But they have cheaper ones. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if this will go on to like the Coal Report or not. But I guess I've been thinking about the mass debate. You know, that's the Chris Chan. By the way, did you know that Chris Chan has some GF? He like flew to Finland to meet some autistic girl. And our good friend Guntbot was saying like, see all you losers that catalog Chris Chan for a living, you're all seething because even after he, besoiled his family, if you know what I mean, even after all the drama, that he still made it as a 40-year-old creep, 40-plus-year-old creep on estrogen and so forth. But of course, like, people like him and Logo, they like live to counter signal. But I don't know. I mean, it's coming from a bad source. But Campbot is kind of correct in that it is kind of lurid and insane that people, they like that Gino Samuel guy, like they have their whole lives are dedicated to Chanology. Now, I'm embarrassed at the amount of lore that I know about lolcows. But the reason I'm not, like, I stopped tuning in because it just got too depressing. But the reason I'm kind of sour on Gino Samuel is when he was on Follow the Rules, his audience hated it because we actually asked him questions and there was a dialogue between me, Saturnalia, and of course Lev. And his audience, like, I remember this one comment that really stuck into my craw. And if you hear any noise, it's because I'm driving. I'm currently, I'm not going to dox my location, but anyways, somewhere in the United States of America. And I was really pissed off because it was like a few years ago. It was more than a few years, maybe 3 years ago. Almost, whereabouts. And it still rattled me. Whereas audience, one of his members, or I forget who, said that, oh, now I thank God I don't have to listen to this 3-hour stream because I just wanted to hear Gino Samuel. And this is the problem with having just a debate show or just a interview show, is that you are not the, I know it's an egotistical thing, but sorry, I'm getting ready. There's this this native statue. I'm probably doxing myself that I'm near Buffalo. There's this native statue. He's got his arm up, but it kind of looks like he's giving it up. Anyways, well, you know the Austrian painter. He did have a favorable opinion of the North American indigenous people. So, he said that they did embody. I think it wasn't him. I think it was either Himmler or Goring. I forget who. Some other like esoteric fascist, someone like Cultured Thug would know, but I'm not doing that as a jab. He generally does know all these gritty details. So that's an old head reference, Cultured Thug. But I think it was either Goring or someone else it was a Goebbels that had a favorable opinion of like the Comanche and the other North American, the Lakota, other North American indigenous tribes, and the Iroquois. And there was a Native American activist who was, I believe, and he did have, like, he was part of the German Nazi in America before the war, of course. But even after the war, I think he still went around reservations giving speeches about how, you know, hitting was great. I forget. This really is like, you know, wholesome Chungus, third world nut, right? But anyways, I hate how you're not the epicenter of the content when people are like, oh, I just came in, just don't talk, I want to hear my favorite E-Daddy. Like, I hate that stuff, man. That's why when you have more of a conversational style, people, they're more sympathetic to that, and like, you are the content, you know what I mean? But that's just inside baseball. So, I had these weird dreams, maybe I'll tell you them, where I was in, I think I said I was like in Chicago or some other major city. I was like walking at nighttime in these boroughs, but they were like residential areas. And this kid comes up to me and he says, oh yeah, don't go down to that district you're walking down. I was like at my house, but I was like walking down these streets, like I was doing a night walk, and this kid, it was like just before dawn, he goes, oh, if you cross into that neighborhood, it's run by this matriarch figure, it's run by women, man. This like, I think he might have been like 13, 14. He goes, yeah, it's run by women, man. So I'm walking down, and then I'm in this like mall, this like Asian mall. It was really weird. And it was like, I had this vision, I had this other dream of this other like game center mall, but it was like in Asia or something, I don't know. And then I was walking in these dark corridors, and then I finally went to this basement of this mall, and I saw that that there was like this restaurant. Oh yeah, this guy, see, I'm in my Dodge Charger, so of course this guy's going over, right? I'm totally cucking him, and I'm not tailgating him. I'm just, you know, people, they cross over, right? But anyways, so I'm in this area, and this restaurant, but it had like these like brass, but they were painted white tables or benches all over, and there was like these water fountains, and there was like this Greek tile thing with like the palm, like the plants, like the palm trees, not palm trees, but like these kind of like very leafy trees, like these plants that my grandmother used to have, that had like the very thin like strips of foliage, right? But anyway, so I'm trying to tie my shoes. My shoes were untied. And I remember, like, I couldn't, like, I didn't want to upset the patrons that were sitting at these benches. And so I couldn't, like, tie my shoes. So then I exited this restaurant through this other walkway, and there was this big poster in Japanese letters. And I think it was a wrestling poster. And, oh, left lane closed, roadwork, blah, 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 anyways. So, I was in this, like, hallway, but it was like a theater, and then these guys recognized me. They were, like, going into this theater, and it had, like, I think it was, like, New Japan Pro Wrestling or something. And then they're like, oh, man, imagine if you were on the card. And so I think they thought I was, like, a wrestler. I may have been, like, an ex-wrestler or something. I was retired. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can wrestle. Then I go in this other hallway, but it was like out into this like empty like walkway where I think they were setting up the ring or like going into this theater. And I saw like it may have been some Japanese wrestler. He kind of looked like Tarzan Goto, or he looked like Great Ganosuke from FMW. He was like the champion of FMW. And he like approaches me, and we're kind of like play wrestling. And then I gave him some kind of pile driver move, and he tried to like put me in this submission, but people were like clapping or whatever. And it was really weird. And I think it was like just all in good fun sort of deal. And that was my dream. Anyways, maybe I'll break this up. So maybe I will cut this video and I'll talk about the stupid debate. But it's really weird. I do have these. Oh, it said left lane closed, not right lane. What are you doing? But I had these, like, you know, weirdo dreams all in the same time. Like, I usually dream about places. I dream that I'm back in university or school or whatever. And but they're all distorted, though. They're all like sort of dreams that have to do with place and locations. I think even Zero HP Lovecraft had this tweet one time about, I dream about like nebulous empty spaces, kind of like House of Leaves, kind of like the liminal space type of deal, you know what I mean? So most of my dreams constitute locations that I've been in, but also themes of being either late or some kind of distortion or disruption in those locations. I have a lot of spatial dreams. And, I don't know, I'm kind of like smelling weed smoke on the road here. I thought it was in, you know, Canada, when you even drive in the highways, there's like weed smoke everywhere. I can't escape all the weed smoke on the road. I guess people are getting high while they have long journeys. I don't know. But anyways, I'll talk about Tiny Tim Walls, or I should say Tech 9 Tim, in the next video, the next recording.